Hey guys, Rstar26 with Parallel Guns Gaming back with Kerbal Space Program again. I'm not too sure what went on there. I'm back. And I just finished explaining this awesome satellite. But yeah, we're going to launch a satellite to geosynchronous orbits. This is our launcher for this thing. It's got 5,300 meters per second in DV, which I think should be pretty close. I think we need 4,500 to get there, so I just want to make sure we have everything that we need. Don't see why that have everything we need, but anyways, we got to put a couple of fins on this thing. I think we'll be good to go. Open thing, and it should lift a good amount. Let's check our staging. Our atmospheric. I think we'll maybe swap the fairing. We can ditch the fairing and then we're gonna say this is the bog halo launch version 1. Perfect. Save that guy. See how it flies. I suppose we probably should have had structure stands. We'll go back to the VAB. Probably doesn't need it, but comfortable with it. The whole thing. First is probably not going to let me. Gotta move more back. Okay. That's pretty close. Close enough. Launch it anyway. And the only thing I'm unsure of is the core, so. A little bit wobbly with where those stands are. SAS on. Throttles to full. I think what we'll do is we'll circularize at 80K again. What's our final? Quite a ways out, eh? So let's maybe just look at what our periaps. Our apoapsis is supposed to be 1,058 meters. 3,000,085. A pretty big periapoapsis. 1,000 kilometers, 3,085 kilometers. Okay, well, let's try it. That was a fail. Could have looked at how my engines were. Oh dear. There we go. That's better. Try that again. I have to revert that to launch and log that up. Trying to turn set my yes to an orbital prograde. Not a very smooth launch. Fairly fuel efficient, but probably shouldn't have turned the rocket in atmosphere. My apoapsis. Because of drag on the ship. Guessing still a pretty efficient burn. Was a little wonky. That there's no reaction with thing either. I probably should have. Yeah, it's having such a. I think we're gonna have to read. Definitely have to read. Not even a question. Ship has turned itself. We're gonna add a reaction. So we're gonna. We'll add this reaction. We'll literally. This bearing off, but a reaction. That'll give us better. Definitely give. On a route part. Launch it. This will be better. Just circularize here so that we're not suborbital. Then we'll adjust our orbit accordingly. I don't know what kind of orbital path we're. Like we're pretty well. Should be pretty good. We'll adjust our apoapsis. We'll do maybe this one here first. We're going to go to 2,860. $2,860. $863.3. Gonna use it, add a few. Yeah, it's just. We're gonna circularize. Didn't take much to circularize. We're gonna circularize at the next be 390. We'll be just shy of that Deb. Got that. And we'll circularize. Definitely use the last of the fuel on. It's not burning. We might as well change our apps. Circular eye. We'll have to complete an orb. I think we gotta have this one though. Target, I don't. Be out of power. Power. Out of juice. We gotta get those panels open at the right once we get into Yeah, we've got our solar. Just trying to think of the best way to do site. Two, three. Can't do it that way. Okay. Now we want to change our periapsis at the next apoapsis. 2, 8, 6, 3. Let's see what this does. Not too sure. We'll watch the burn from the... That is a fatal freaking flaw. Gonna try to overheat that and blow it up. I think we'll be able to. Oh, I should have freaking thought about that. Yeah. I maybe need to do that abscess. line up vector. Okay. Good speed up. That's where I'm gonna. Match. Hopefully not RCS. Damn. Circular. Oh. That should do the trick. Should do the trick. If we have any RCS. Looks like we did it. Have it, guys. We have got our first satellite. Goodness. have a pretty good signal. I think we've got a mission completion on that. Did it. Position a satellite in geostationary orbit of. You can go back to our satellite now. Fun stuff. Observe our materials bay. And we transmit that bit, so we might our bay and take a course. Noise gate is a little off. Okay. Oh, it might be a gain thing. Let me just adjust that. How's that? Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Take a picture of that. Sweet. Okay, so that is this mission is complete. We've got our satellite in orbit and about it. All we can do. We got to launch another one now. So one thing I'll show you guys, I'm going to go to the Space Center and show you. You know, we've been playing this for a little while now, and things are going to start to get cluttered out in space, so I'm gonna have to start getting rid of some shit, I think. Which you can do, like stage this there. So there's our ComNet. See, we've got this satellite relays connecting with all of this here. So what I'm gonna do probably is eventually launch another satellite and put it on the opposite side so that we have a constant relay. But we're gonna have to change some of the designs on it because I'd like to have a relay antenna on the back of it as well too, to relay information from the moon, perhaps. And that way we've got constant communication with the satellite. So, but what I was going to show you guys was the debris. So we can't see the debris now. This is all the debris from all of our previous launches that are floating in space. It's crazy, isn't it? So here's the launch debris from our first satellite, and we're going to terminate that because I just don't like clutter like that. Post. Gone. Gonzo. But yeah, so that's all of our space junk. And actually I just got a notification that one of our pieces of junk just left Kerbin's sphere of influence. So I want to see where that is. Right here. So we've got this Apollo launch debris, which is traveling ridiculously fast. And it looks like it's going to be spiraling into the sun here. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool. But yeah, we've got a lot of junk in Kerbal Space, so we gotta watch some of the stuff. I think I might have crashed the game. Oh no. So that's that one. We're gonna throw another satellite into the orbit that this one is asking for, and then that's probably where we're gonna shut it down. But we can return to Kerbal Space or the Space Center, and we should have one mission that is cleared from our log. Yeah, it's gone, so we can grab another one. So this one wants a orbital station around Moon and a satellite in a specific orbit around Duna. I don't think we're going to take any of those just yet. Just because they're going to be pretty complicated. We'll look at what we got active though. So we've got another one to position the satellite in Q orbit. This one's going to be a little bit more trickier because we have to change the I guess trajectory of the satellite. We have to change planes. Way. But we want to make a few changes to this satellite. Like I said, I want it to be able to relay some or transmit data from all over the place. Sorry, my headphone over there. Let's turn it. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we want to make a few changes as well. We need to fix the problem with this bearing, and we need to do that by disconnecting that and adding a stack decoupler in between. So we want another TRA18 right there. There. Just like that. Could have that, and then that'll be good just like that. I don't know that this is enough fuel to do what we need to do. It'll be pretty close. But one of the other issues that I had was the force that this was ejecting by. But I think we could probably rectify that by just moving these down a little bit, and it should sag out, I guess. Want two of them. So that should fix the issue of those engines kind of pushing in. What it was doing was it was hitting the sides of the engine and blowing up. So we want to fix that from happening. And then the other thing we want is to put another antenna. I'm not sure the best way to do that. We've got one of these guys. If we put that on the back, we should be able to relay both directions. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading what that tooltip said. But we'll try launching and completing this mission with this craft. So we're going for an evening launch. Isn't that a lovely sky, hey? Wow. Beautiful. So let's throttle this up just for the launch. Probably throttle it back already. Switching over now. 70. Ride that wave of 70 until we're at about 10,000 meters. Start to pitch down now. Down to about 45. Fuel. Five. Throttle this up. Oh, still hit. Still hit. We didn't lose anything, but just an ugly launch, that's all. Still moving up. I think at this point we probably want to turn prograde. Stability. We'll stay at this 30. Pretty good trajectory for now. We'll push this apoapsis out to about 100,000. $120, something like that. $200,000. That. At this point, I think we're going to want to deploy that just so we can get our solar panels out. Go ahead and execute that. I should have put a flag on that, or a light on that bog logo. That would look pretty cool. Okay, so there's our circularization burn, and then what we're gonna do is fiddle with the planes and get them on the right plane. Okay, so what we want to do now... Oh, I've got all that crap toggled on. And we didn't want that. Well... So what we need to look at here is what the ascending and descending are. So ascending node is minus 25 degrees. So we want to $25 degrees. See what that does. That's opposite, so I think we want minus 25. This is where it gets kind of tricky. That's changing that at the apsis. So what if we change that? Is that right? Negative. I think the best thing to do maybe is change my apoapsis to match the apoapsis here. So 3085.483. So 3085.483. Good. Great node there. Execute that, and then we'll circularize that, and then we should be able to adjust the ascending and descending node match properly. See, we're getting pretty close to some of our garbage. There is a way, like, you can just eliminate garbage in space from the space center, but we'll let it fill. Not too bad. And then we're going to adjust our periapsis, because this one has got a different periapsis. So 2641.185. Burn a little bit just to fine tune itself by the looks of it. Oh. So now we want to change our periapsis at the next apoapsis. That's going to be at 2,641.185. 2,641.185. Node. Execute that next node. There should be just enough fuel to do that, and then we'll ditch this one stage after we do this burn. And then we'll get everything fine-tuned with the Okay, so now that we've got that matched, we just need to change the planes. So in the past, what I've done was marked this here and then created a node where my ascending node is and then changing planes at that point. So if we do that here, right on our ascending node, we should be able to burn this way. And then we should be able to match that just fine. By the looks of it, we're going to have to change our orbit, but I probably should have matched planes first. My ascending node in. Although that's pretty close there. That's going to use a lot of fuel. So we'll ditch these right now. And we'll execute the next node. A pretty long burn for this little engine. Probably have to finish this job with the RCS engines, I'm guessing. There ain't a lot of fuel left. Abscess, make that 3085.483. 3085.483 node. That node. The abscess 2641185. Like we got something a little bit wonky yet on this thing. Look at all that space junk, eh? So I think that this is just going to be a matter of adjusting our ascending node and descending. I think. Probably just a little off. Okay, so I think if we do that, we should just have to adjust our periapsis and apoapsis. We're going to turn RCS on. I'm gonna execute that and see what happens. Yeah, I'm good, Silent Death. How are you? And Alex, how are you guys? Just trying to put a satellite in orbit here, and one that's on a different plane, so it's been challenging. I put one in geosynchronous orbit on a equatorial plane, and that was good and easy, but this is proved to be challenging. I'm about to run out of fuel on my main engine, so we're going to have to use RCS to finish this mission, which is okay because I screwed up the other one entirely and accidentally never put... Are you just watching this? Yeah, it's using RCS now. I accidentally forgot to put a... Hey, your birthday's coming up. When? It looks like we actually got it. This did it for us. We'll let it finish, but it looks like we have achieved what we're setting out to achieve. Yep, that did it. There's our satellite. I'm just gonna flip it around. Oops. Ah, 60 Fahrenheit. Wow. Violent Death. You want to know how cold it is here right now? I'll convert it for you even. So we are sitting at January 31st. Nice, Alex. Well, happy early birthday. So Silent Death, it is currently minus 18.4 degrees Fahrenheit. And with the wind chill factor, it is currently minus 29.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Minus. No shit. I'm not joking. It is freezing outside. Really, really cold. Really cold. Okay, so that's that mission. This satellite is in its geosynchronous orbit. We should snap a photo of that because that's pretty freaking cool. And just a good photo op. Can't get one with the panels. Yeah, that's how badly the weather fluctuates here. Crazy, eh? And like I was saying, this isn't the coldest it was. Like yesterday, it was minus 49 degrees Fahrenheit here yesterday. Minus 49. Minus. Might as well transmit this science data back. Yeah, you know, it is dangerous. You can't be outside for a long time. If you bundle up and everything, it's fine. We're fairly well adapted here. Like they don't close the schools here until it's minus 49 Fahrenheit. That's when they decide to shut the buses and stuff down. Otherwise, kids still need to go to school, and all that kind of stuff. But we plug our vehicles in and they start in the morning, and yeah, you know, when it gets cold here, Silent Death, there's a lot of businesses and places that will open up shelters and take in people who don't have anywhere to go, because yeah, that weather kills. You can't stay in it all night. There's no way. Be dead for sure. So yeah, that's definitely a factor, right? We're like 2 science off being able to unlock something else. Brutal. Private businesses, public buildings and stuff like that, yeah. Gymnasiums and places like that that have space just to accommodate people, so. Yeah, it really is a necessity here, right? Like you have to. Okay, so I upgraded our mission control. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, I would say here, I mean, we live in a city, or the nearest city to me is a city of about 260,000, 250,000 people. And I would suspect if people were freezing to death all the time, we would hear it in the news, and you don't hear it very often here. The one thing about Canadian people is that we are fairly open to helping people in need, especially when the weather's cold. Nobody likes to be cold, right? No, it's not a bummer convo. That's good conversation. That's good cultural exchange and things like that. And I mean, given the climate that we live in, you know, it's important to share those things, right? And again, that being said, Canadian people in general, especially from the prairies like us, are very well adapted to living in these conditions like that. Like, I have got no problems driving, you know, when we've had 2 or 3 inches of snow down a highway that's covered in ice at 60 miles an hour. I've been doing it my whole life, right? And that's just the way things are here. And you tell that to people who are from milder climates that do get snow and ice, and they can't believe that we'll do that. Like, we'll drive on basically a skating rink. But like I said, it's just the difference in cultures and things like that. We're just, well, I'm not saying that there isn't a lot of stupid drivers out here too, but for the most part, it's life as usual, right? We expect that in January and February it's going to be freezing cold. Yeah, I like to think in general we're fairly hospitable people. Yeah, you went to Banff, right? Or Jasper or something like that? Oh, you went. Where did you go? Did you go to Cape Breton Island? I was in Nova Scotia 2 years ago. It was my first time. Being Canadian, it's kind of funny that we say that, but it's still 4,500 kilometers from us. But yeah, me and my wife went and visited Cape Breton Island, and man, let me tell you, you leave a piece of your heart there. We love that kind of Irish, Celtic fiddle music and stuff like that, and it was probably one of the best trips I've been on. And I've been on a lot of trips as well too. I've seen a lot of places. I've been to Japan and all over the Caribbean. So I've been places. You missed it, eh? Oh, you need to go back. You need to go. Cape Breton it's amazing. Simply amazing. It's hard to describe. I'll tell you what, if you want to see what Cape Breton is all about, do a YouTube search sometime for the Celtic Colors Music Festival. It's a music festival. It's a music festival on Cape Breton Island that occurs every October, it's beginning of October, and it's a week of Celtic music. And so there's a trail on Cape Breton. Now there's two trails on Cape Breton Island. One trail is called the Cabot Trail, which is well known for being one of the most scenic drives you can take in the world. It's about 400 kilometers. Divide that by 1.6 to get the miles, but it's not a huge trail, but it's so mountainous, and the road is fairly narrow, but it's a very, very good road that it's slow going, and there's so many stops along it that it takes probably 3 days to get around. And the other trail is called the Cayley Trail, and if you follow that trail, so the Cabot Trail kind of goes around the whole island, and the Cayley Trail kind of takes you along one of the coasts, and pretty much every yeah, it's about 4 hours from Halifax, I think. About 4 hours. But pretty much every town you stop in has got a pub or restaurant that's got live music every day. So if you love live music, man, that's a place to go. It's just, I can't even say enough about it. I would live there if I could. I'd have a cottage or retire there or buy a business there or something like that. But it's just unreal. Absolutely unreal. Okay, so we're done those two satellite missions. We might as well have a look at our ComNet now. You could probably do Banff and Jasper, I would say. Because they're like maybe 3 hours apart, I think. And if you do Banff, you should also do Lake Louise, which is kind of just up the road. All beautiful, beautiful places. Really, really. I've been to Banff several times. My wife and I honeymooned in Banff. And yeah, it's just stunning, absolutely stunning. And if you're here long enough for those two, you might as well keep going and head into BC and see if you can get to Vancouver. Which I think from Banff is probably like 7 or 8 hours, something like that. But if you can get on a ferry... Oh yeah, absolutely. The Rocky Mountains are they've always got snow on them at some level, right? In the peaks and stuff, they've always got snow on them. But yeah, I think, like, my wife and I got married in October, and there was snow. There wasn't so much snow in the village of Banff, but as soon as you took the gondola up the mountain, it was all snow. So yeah, it was just stunning, really, really stunning. Sorry, it's almost hard to describe how stunning it was. And then yeah, like I was saying, if you can get to Victoria Island, since like Nova Scotia is the east coast, Victoria is the west coast, completely different culture. Same kind of altitudes for the most part, I think. Maybe Vancouver or Nova Scotia is a little bit further north, but Victoria is something else. It's on Vancouver Island, and how cold are we talking in Banff? Banff in October, 32 degrees ish. I would say. Victoria, you're looking at year-round. Yeah, I will. Don't worry. Ask your questions. It's good knowledge. I mean, I live 5 hours away from Banff, right? So, like I said, I've been there. Those few places, anyways, but. Yeah, Victoria year-round, you're looking at 60 degrees, I would say. But Victoria is cool. Like, it's such a huge contrast because where we live, like where I live, and all the other bog guys, is in the prairies. So it's prairie, and then you drive west and you hit Banff and Jasper, and it's mountains. Yeah, in October. Still, usually, like Banff Village, you're probably looking at 60... I would say anywhere between 40 and 60 degrees. Like, it was cold enough that you'd want to wear a jacket, but it wasn't cold enough that you were uncomfortable. Like, in Banff, there's a great hot springs, like Banff Hot Springs. And it's outdoors, and yeah, we were great. Like, you stick your body outside of the hot spring, and it's chilly, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna die or something like that. So. And yeah, Victoria is probably 60 Fahrenheit all year round. But, well, in the fall, it gets quite a bit warmer in the summer. But it's pretty cool because once you cross the Rockies into BC, you're kind of in a completely different zone. And it's rainforest, like it's old growth rainforest, almost all of BC, right? Particularly on the island. And you get these great big trees and this huge canopy, and yeah, Johnny had some pictures. Banff? You would see them in Banff, guarantee it. You cross the border here and you've got a good chance of seeing them. Just look at the latitude of Saskatoon, which is where most of the bog guys are from, and compare that to Banff, and I think they're fairly. Banff might be a little bit further south, but you'd still see them there. Like Jasper, you would for sure, because Jasper's further north. And I know Jasper every fall in November, they have a star party it's like a week of astronomy related stuff where they got like photography of the northern lights and huge telescopes and stuff like that to look out of. So, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, I live 65 miles south of Saskatoon, southwest of Saskatoon, and you can see them clear as day here when they're out. I can't believe in New Jersey you guys can't see them, to be honest with you. Mind you, that's a big city and there's lots of lights, but oh, yeah, you see them all the time here. It's almost interesting speaking to people from the United States, because a lot of the states is fairly well populated cities, and here, I mean, you drive out of any city here for 15 minutes and you have the most perfect black skies. When I'm at my lake in the summer, we've got a permanent campsite, and when we're down there, you can walk out to the edge of the lake, and clear as day, you can see the galactic core, and it's millions of stars. Barely see the moon, eh? That's sad. I feel sad for you guys. You can take a telescope out in Saskatoon, which, like I was saying, is a city of 260,000 people, and see the crater as clear as day on the moon. You'll never miss the moon here. It is sad. And I feel bad for the people who live in the cities close to me, because we've got, the town I live in is 2,500 people, and we've got better skies than them, and they still have good skies there themselves. So yeah, I know it's a good place to visit. There's lots to see. I've toured a lot of the world myself, like I was saying, and there's so much here. I hope you do. I hope you do. And if you get close enough to the east where we are, we're not far from Banff, you let us know and we'll go for a beer or something like that. Scotch or something, whatever you drink. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, us Canadians are pretty fine people. I like to think we're pretty... Oh, we get excited to visit with people, eh? You know, not a lot of people think they want to visit Canada. And when we get to meet new people, it's always exciting. Especially us prairie people, right? The prairies are fairly open space, right? Our entire province, Saskatchewan, which is, I don't know, let me look. I'll look it up for you. Area. So my province, well, Quebec, I would say for sure. But that's a cultural thing, I think. Like, Toronto, maybe not as much, but I mean, I think when you get to the prairie provinces, like Saskatchewan is 407,437 square miles. That's the size of the province I live in. 457,437 square miles. And there's 1 million people in that 407,000 square miles. 1 million people. So the population density is maybe 2 people per square mile. I mean, it's more concentrated when you're in cities, but as a general demographic, the size of the province is 407,000 square miles, and there's 1 million people. The whole province. So I think you get to these smaller areas or less densely populated areas, and people just tend to be friendlier, right? We kind of live our life at our own paces. Now, areas like Banff and Jasper are fairly highly populated with tourists. There's a lot of tourists out here, and that's a good thing, but you know, you may find well, let's take the city of Saskatoon as Bog's central hub. All of us live within, I would say, an hour and 10 minutes of Saskatoon. 60 miles, within 60 miles. But it's different. Like, I had some friends visit from Toronto, and we drove the 60 miles to my house, and they're like, I can't believe that it's only an hour to get from the city, from the airport to your house. And it's so open, there's nothing. There's no villages, there's a couple small towns off the highway, but it's straight driving, right? You drive 65 miles an hour the whole way, and you don't stop. There's no toll roads. There's no nothing. I don't think there's any toll roads in my province. None that I know of, anyways. But yeah, we all generally live within an hour, and we usually meet up at Roll SK's house when we're doing things. He's got the perfect house for hosting people and cooking food and stuff like that, so... Most of the Bog guys live in a different city. There's only 3 of us that live in smaller towns. I guess 4 of us. Stuhl lives in a smaller town just outside. It's maybe 10 minutes outside of the meet. Look at that ComNet. Isn't that great? Cool thing to see. Just some serious contact. No, I mean, I think we're all originally from the same city, but life takes us all in different directions, right? So. And we've all got some sort of personal contact with each other that's brought us together. So, you look at Trick's streams, you look at Johnny's streams, and especially Roll SK's streams, and they're way higher quality because they're in the city and they've got access to way higher bit rates than us. I mean, my bit rate for this stream is 1500 kilobytes. Kilobytes. But we make an effort. The best? Thinking. So I wouldn't dissuade you. Because my best would be Cape Breton Island. But you've been to Nova Scotia. So I'd want you to see something different. The next best, I would say, yeah. I mean, the Rocky Mountains are amazing. Especially if you haven't been around mountains a lot. Yeah, if you haven't seen a lot of Canada or a lot of mountains, Banff and Jasper are definitely places to go see. My next would be the West Coast. Vancouver Island is amazing. The culture there is completely different. Yeah, scenic. Banff and Jasper are scenic. For sure. For sure, for sure. So is the West Coast. For me, personally, and it's something that's almost unachievable because it's so remote, is that I would love to go visit like Baffin Island and Iqaluit, which are in the Arctic Circle. Like they're far north, and you get to see the ice fjords similar to like Baffin Island is maybe an hour's flight from Greenland. But I'm into that kind of remote, rocky tundra terrain. I would say the Yukon would be another place that would be really neat to see. Maybe not top, but yeah, the West Coast is amazing. Like I said, it's all old growth rainforests there. Legit rainforest. There's great big cedar trees, things like that. It's beautiful, just stunning. Yeah, the north, the far north. I used to work on a drilling rig back when I graduated high school, and I worked north of a place called Grand Prairie, which is where my parents live. And Grand Prairie is north, but up there in the winter, on a cold night, when it was like minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and the northern lights were out, they would be so bright and so vivid and so close that you could whistle at them and they would dance around you. They would come down to you. There was old folklore from the indigenous people, the Aboriginal people here, that whistled at them, northern lights would come and take your spirit. But yeah, you could talk to them or whistle to them, and they would move. They would move to the sound waves generated by your voice would cause them to dance, change color right in front of your face. It's crazy experience. They just seem to fill the whole sky around you. Simply beautiful. There's no other way to describe it. Well, then don't visit Banff and Jasper in the winter. Mind you, they can tend to have milder weather, like when Chinooks blow in. But if you're worried about her enjoyment in a vacation, I would say don't visit most of these places in the winter, other than the West Coast. West Coast stays warm all the time. Like, I don't think, Vancouver and Victoria don't tend to see snow at all. Like, they get a lot of rain in the winter. But that being said, there's a lot of great things to see and do in the Rocky Mountains, like Banff and Jasper in the summer or fall as well. Like, lots of great hiking, and you can still ride the gondola, you can still do all that kind of stuff. So, just can't go skiing, and by the sounds of your wife and not enjoying the cold, skiing may not be something that she would enjoy anyways. And if you're going to see Banff, like Banff I think is about 2 hours away from Calgary, so that's likely where you'd fly in. And if you're going to go there, you should go see Drumheller as well. So Drumheller is about an hour and a half the opposite way, east of Calgary. And it's kind of in an area of Badlands. Yeah, you're thinking Lake Moraine, eh? Beautiful there, beautiful, stunning. But I would definitely recommend you see Drumheller. and the Badlands there. So the Badlands of Drumheller are like canyons that are cut into the rock, not dissimilar to the Grand Canyon. It's not as big as the Grand Canyon, but there's a really great dinosaur museum there because they find all sorts of dinosaurs all through the Badlands. And it's such a contrast going from the Badlands in Drumheller to the mountains in altitude and terrain. Here, let me show you. I have the technology to show you. Drumheller Badlands. So they're like canyons, right? There's lots of hoodoos. So that's the Badlands. And here we have, this may not show up at all. Oh, that's not going to show up at all. I was trying to show you the Northern Lights in Jasper, but they're too green. The chroma key doesn't pick them up. Yeah, it's, I mean, I don't think you're going to regret it. You or your wife, really. And with the exchange rate now, it's probably worth it. I mean, it's 78 American cents to the Canadian dollar, I think. 73 or something like that American cents to the Canadian dollar. So you got a pretty good exchange rate too. So definitely worth it. And the good thing about Banff and Jasper is that if you do come in the summer or the fall or the spring, it's off season, so you'll get better prices on hotels and like that, right? Their prime tourist season is the winter. You had 7 days, just 7 days in spring. Are you talking like April or May? Early June? Okay, well, I would say If you're going to do Banff and Jasper, you need to come in May just for your wife. Because it can still be fairly cold there until mid-May. I think that the ski hills on the mountains... yeah, 3 weeks from now, summer. Yeah, so... probably mid-May, towards the end of May, would be the time to go to Banff and Jasper. The ski hills and stuff are usually open until like the 20th of May. So that means it's cold enough at altitude, like up in the mountains, to still have snow to ski on. However, by May, like down in Banff Village, it's a little bit like 40 degrees, 50, 60. So yeah, if you're gonna do the mountains, I would come kind of well into spring. Don't come in the winter, just for her sake. And yeah, if you want to see something, I know you really like Banff and Jasper, so go to Banff and Jasper. Let's do it. Fly into Calgary, go see the mountains. Drive back east. You know, go to the mountains for 3 days. And then come back east, Drumheller, for a day or two. Well, by May, you're going to have the vegetation starting to come back. Maybe not so much in the mountains, but the further east you come, the warmer it'll be. Most of our trees start blooming mid-May here in Saskatchewan. If you had 7 days, I wouldn't say go as far as the West Coast. That's too far. Too much driving. But you could easily spend 7 days in Banff, Jasper, Lake Louise. If you don't burn out, I wouldn't say it's much. Like, the flight from Calgary to Vancouver is probably like 50 minutes short. And you could see most of what you want to see in Banff in 3 days, I'd say. Especially if you're not skiing. In 3 days, I don't know that you would hit Banff and Jasper. I would say just stay in Banff. Jasper is closer to Edmonton than it is to Calgary, and you'd fly into Calgary likely if you were going to Banff. No, I think that there's just too much to see, right? You'll get into Banff, you'll get into Calgary, drive to Banff, get to your hotel. You could go up the gondola that day and do the hot springs. If you were just driving, if you didn't really want to stop and see anything, but like if you're in Banff, like I was saying, you're going to ride the gondola up one day and do that walk to the summit of the mountain. Do the hot springs. Probably go up to Lake Moraine, which is a little bit of a drive from Banff. No, Lake Louise is closer to Banff. So yeah, you would go to Lake Moraine and see the blue waters there, and then drive up to Lake Louise and see the glacier up there. That's probably 3 days right there. But I think if you visit one, you ain't missing much of the other. Like they're mountains, right? Over a 7-day excursion, if you're wanting to maximize what you can see, I would say don't do Banff and Jasper. I'd say pick one or the other. And then catch a flight to Vancouver and see some of the things there, or Victoria, Vancouver or Victoria. In May, in Victoria, Victoria, the city itself, has the Natural History Museum, which is really cool. We've got a really cool wax museum. With the least tourists, early fall. Or late spring. For Banff. He said most of the people are up there to go skiing, right? So I think by mid-May, most of the people are done their skiing and stuff like that, so the population's thin out a little bit. We're right in the middle of summer. Nah, you'll get good pictures. You get good pictures anytime you're there. Really. I mean, we were there in October. And I mean, there's always tourists there, but... Oh, absolutely. I'll show you... I think I got some pictures on my Facebook. Yeah, no problem, bud. I'm gonna shut her down relatively soon anyways. My kids got a hockey game tomorrow morning. But here's Banff in October. Oh man, I wish I could show you that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna minimize my game. I'll show you from my computer. Yeah, I know, I'm pulling it up for you. So Banff in October. You see that better? And that's early October. Wrong way. Yeah, you bet, bud. Yeah. No problem. Alright, no problem, man. I was just grabbing a drink and filling up some of my fluid, but no biggie. So this, you can see it, is Mount Sulphur. That's Banff Village, the Fairmont Banff Springs, from Mount Sulphur in October. That's me back when I had hair. There's the gondola ride up. You take a hike all the way up this mountain from the top of the gondola. Top of the mountains, Banff Village again. That album. I have one more album. And this is the cave and basin. So this is the old hot springs. They don't use these hot springs. I wouldn't say so, because I was definitely not in shape when we climbed up there. I'm in way better shape now. 11 years later, I'm probably 60 pounds lighter. A lot less hair, as you can see, but... So yeah, these are the old hot springs. What the pictures are, no, they're not any bigger. So that's the old hot springs. They don't use them anymore because there's a bit of radiation in the water. It's just a tourist attraction. But this water is all naturally hot coming out of the earth. It's very sulfuric. But I mean, that's October. So I think it would be probably similar come May, June. Again, blue hot springs. Some creepy looking fish thing in one of the museums. No, not quite. And May would be much the same, I think, come the village, so. Yeah, so for instance, I'll show you these too. I took these photographs in the town I live in. Well, I'm a little bit D-bag, but Silent Death just wants to know all about Banff and whatnot, so I'm showing him pictures. I took these photos of the moon from my front yard. I'm showing Silent Death pictures of Banff because he's planning on coming to Banff this spring. And he wanted to know what he said. He can hardly see the moon in New Jersey. Yeah, he can hardly see the moon in New Jersey, so I'm showing him what the moon looks like in Rosetown. But yeah, you can see it pretty good here. Pretty cool. Anyways, the other thing I was going to show you was, let's go Banff, Northern Lights. Fucking Jersey. Northern Lights in Banff. That's Banff National Park. Right there. More Banff National Park. Oh yeah, there's no doubt that he would, D-bag. I'm sure he would too. But he really wants to go see Banff, so... And I don't blame him. Banff's beautiful. Saskatchewan, northern Saskatchewan. No. You're thinking Saskatoon, maybe? Saskatoon is a city, and Saskatchewan is the province, like the state. Yes, you'll have to look at a map. Best time, least tourists, eh? Best sights in photography. Jeez. Jeez. Yukon would be a good place to go. Fairly certain. I'll launch one more satellite and then I'm going to sleep, I think. One to go to Inmus. That'll actually kill 2 missions. That's good. Oh, so happens that that D-bag has two too. Oh, the golden was roll SKs. Yeah, roll SK's got the golden. Drink on Fridays, eh? Trying to look at what orbit we need to have around 373,000 meters. Should just be able to adjust this. It's close enough. Yeah, that's right, Ace. I read that Saskatoon was one of the top 52 places to visit in Canada. It was like 18 or something like that. Three 690, 1,700, 373, 690. Hey, sounds good, Silent. I'm just gonna put this satellite in orbit and I'm going to bed too. I gotta be up pretty early for kids hockey, so thanks for tuning in, bud. Appreciate it. It was good chatting about Canada. Yeah, you bet, Silent Death. You have a really good night too. Thanks for tuning in again, man. And it was really good chatting with you, Canada, and sharing some culture. Always fun. This is this should put us pretty much bang on. Thinking. We're close enough that all we'll have to adjust is our apoapsis and periapsis, so. Let's adjust our apo. So our periapsis may be the one that's out. Gotta be with our periapsis. Once we have that, we should be bang on perfect, I'm thinking. I'll have to do one more orbit. Dead in the water or not getting it or what? Electricity. Burn. Issue it. Let's get rid of this. There's Minmus, look at that. What the hell happened there? Jeez. Have to burn. That lines up. Up to there. This one's a little more trickier than I thought. That should do the trick. Still not quite, eh? They're bang off. I think our periapsis. Off just a hair. Oh, you know what? I think I don't have something else on the ship. I think I need to have a... I think it has to have a mystery goo unit on. No matter what, we're hooched. Well, we got to where we need to be. Probably where we'll leave it for tonight. Can't believe I forgot to put the mystery goo on the damn. Look at that ComNet though, that is beautiful. Beautiful coverage of the planet. But we'll leave it there for now. We'll launch another satellite tomorrow with the mystery goo on it. I'm going to shut her down for the night. Whoever's watching, thanks for tuning in. I'm Rstar26 with Bitter Lagoons Game. And till next time, keep your rockets flying straight and true. Have a good night. Bye.